everybody, welcome back to my channel. So the video I have for you today is going to be a story time video, and I have never done a story time video on my channel before, but I thought I had a pretty good story, so I would share it with you guys. Also, I just want to address the elephant in the room. I got a haircut and I got contacts, so if I look a little different, that's why. So I was watching Kim Yvonne, I don't know how to pronounce her last name. She put up a story time video a few days ago about a nail salon experience and how awful it was. And in my lifetime, I have had some pretty horrible nail salon experiences, so I thought I would sit down and share them with you guys. So if you want to hear my stories, then just keep watching and we'll get started. Bye! Okay, so to give you guys a little bit of a backstory, my bad experiences with nail salons, and I'm talking about like the Vietnamese nail salons, started when I was about 12 or 13 years old. I got my nails done in a nail salon my very first time when I was around that age, and I was actually out of town visiting my cousin Gloss and Sparkle. She's here on YouTube, and we were getting our nails done at a salon that was pretty close to her house, and I had never gotten my nails done, so just know that this was like my first experience with a nail salon. And we just went in there to go get like a simple manicure and polish or whatever. So I'm sitting there, and the lady's like doing my nails. She's like removing nail polish, and she takes out like the cuticle trimmer things, and she puts like the cuticle remover like on my cuticles or whatever, and then she starts like going to town on my cuticles with this little sharp tool. I'm sure you guys all know what this is. And it hurt really, really bad, and I didn't know if it was like just supposed to be that way because I had never gotten my nails done before, so I didn't really know what to expect. She was like digging into my cuticles. I wasn't bleeding or anything, but I started feeling really, really sick to my stomach. Now, looking back, I think I actually had a panic attack, but at the time I thought I was going to throw up. So all of a sudden, like, my stomach starts churning, and I'm like, you have to stop. And then I just get up and I just ran to the bathroom. And I get in the bathroom and I like sit on the floor, and my ears are ringing and my vision is going like black, and I'm like leaning over the toilet expecting to throw up, and I actually had come pretty close to blacking out. So I was in there probably like 5 to 10 minutes, and like I said, looking back, I think it was a panic attack, because I do have panic disorder, so now I know what a panic attack really feels like, but back then I just thought that I was gonna throw up. It hurt that bad. So I come out and I'm like, I sit down and I'm like, okay, don't do that anymore, just go on with the manicure. So she doesn't use the cuticle nippers anymore, and then we just get through my manicure. We finish, I let my fingers dry, and we pay and we leave. And that was that. So that was my very first experience with a nail salon. So having had that happen, I'm already a pretty nervous person when I go to get my nails done. And we're gonna fast forward about to when I was 19 or 20. I was consistently going and getting acrylics, and there were a few salons that I would go to that were good salons that didn't like hurt you or anything when they were doing your nails, and they were Vietnamese salons, so I was consistently going and getting acrylics. So I'm pretty used to like the whole ordeal and everything, and so I was like going probably once a month with my friend Heather to go get acrylics. And then another time I decided to go with my friend Kirsten, and I think we were getting acrylics done for somebody's wedding, but I'm not quite sure. But she was like, oh, let's go to this place, the mall. I go there all the time. They're really, really good. So I'm like, okay. So we go to the mall, we get into the place, and we fill our names out on the little sheet and tell them what we want and everything. We sit and we wait. Okay, so the lady calls me back, And one thing I hate about those nail salons is how they always like talk to each other in their native language. And you always wonder, like, are they talking about me? Are they talking about my friend? Like, what is going on? I cannot stand that. So they're like sitting there like working on your nails and they're all chatting with each other like in Vietnamese, and you're like, okay, shouldn't you be talking to me? Like, I'm the customer here. So that was the first thing that really bugged me about this lady in particular. Second of all, okay, so she like starts doing like a manicure, and I was getting acrylics. I was getting like square acrylics with like a purple glittery tip. And so I'm already nervous because of my very, very first experience I had with the nail salons, and I can never get that experience out of my head, and I'm always nervous. And I always have like pretty cold, like shaky hands. So she's like working on my nails. She's like filing and nipping my cuticles and everything, and she's like, you need to relax. She's like taking my hand and she's like, you need to relax, you need to relax. And I'm like, okay, like, I'm sorry, I'm just like, I'm nervous or whatever. And she's like, you need to relax. Okay, so she takes her file, like, you know how they have like the big like chunky hand file in there, and she starts smacking my wrist with it. And she's like, you need to relax, you need to relax. And she hits me on the wrist like 5 times with her file. And I'm not talking like little taps. I'm talking like full-blown like abuse. Like, this lady is hitting me with her file. And I'm like, what are you doing? Like, I was just like, okay. I just don't like them because they seem to be really, really bossy. And every single person I've had at a Vietnamese salon has always been really, really bossy. And I think that's just their culture and their way of life. So nothing against them, but that's just, okay, that's not okay if your nail tech is sitting there smacking your hand with a nail file, telling you you need to relax. Okay, so that's the first thing she did that was like awful. The second thing, okay, so she starts putting on like my tips or whatever, and then she starts putting on the gel, like the acrylic gel, and it's like, she's like, it's not setting because your hands are too cold, your hands are too cold, you know. And she's like blaming the temperature of my hands for like the acrylic gel to not set, which, okay, maybe is a thing, but like the fact that you're smacking me with your nail file is not gonna make me relax anymore, and it's also not gonna warm my hands up. So she like puts the gel on some of my nails and she like sits me there to like warm my hands up or something. I don't even know. So she like starts rubbing my hands like this to like get them to warm up or whatever so that the gel will set. So okay, so we get through that part. I guess the gel started setting or whatever. And then she takes out the little electronic like buffer thing, like the cuticle thing that files down the acrylic and makes it really even and smooth and whatever. So she's doing that. And here's where it gets really, really juicy. She nicks my cuticle, I think on like this finger or this finger. She nicks it and it starts bleeding. And I don't mean like dripping blood, but I mean it was bleeding, like visibly bleeding. And this woman takes her like hand file and she files right over the part that was bleeding. Doesn't even give me like a paper towel to like clean it or have me go wash my hands or anything. She files right over it, leaves the blood on her file, and sticks it right back in her cup. And I don't mean the sanitizing cup. I mean the cup where she has like all her supplies, her clean supplies. Okay, and I'm like, what are you doing? Like, what is this woman doing? Like, okay, and the first thing that goes through my mind is, okay, well, if she's nicked me and just filed right over it and stuck the file like in her clean supplies, then obviously she's probably done it to somebody else before. And I'm like, okay, what if the person before me, you know, she did it and they had like AIDS or they had a disease or something. And like, I was just so turned off. Like, that is so not sanitary. Like, first of all, like if you hurt somebody when you're doing their nails, like let them like go clean it off or go wash it off or get a paper towel or something. She didn't even apologize either. She just like files right over it, blood still on the file, and sticks it right in her cup, and then just continues working like it was nothing. And I'm just sitting there like, okay, this lady is not getting a good tip from me. Like, this is the worst nail experience I've ever had in my freaking life. So she finishes up and everything, has me go wash my hands after, and then like we sit there and dry, whatever. So we left. I tipped her like pretty crappy because she was absolutely awful. And so yeah, and we just left, and I told my friend like, oh my god, like, did you hear her? Like, she was like yelling at me like to relax, and she's smacking my hand with the nail file, and I'm like, it was just crazy. It was absolutely crazy. So that was my last of all Vietnamese nail salon experience. I'm not saying that everyone is like that, but I have had 2 horrible experiences at those types of salons. I have a lot of friends here that work at nail salons. I have not been back yet to a Vietnamese nail salon, and I don't think I will ever go back to one. Yeah, like I said, I have a lot of friends that are nail techs, so I just go to them, or they do my nails at their house, whatever. Okay, so that was my story time video about my awful nail salon experiences. If you guys have any bad experiences, please feel free to comment them below, because I'm just so interested to see if, you know, if this is a thing that is like typical with those types of places. So be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not already. And thanks for watching, and I will talk to you all later. Bye!